talking about the federal government's recently released measures to try and cut the cost of governance. And you saw the recent directives released, the guidelines released, guiding ministers and PERMSECs and all government officials on travels. They can only have two within a quarter. Only certain cadres will be allowed to travel business class. If you have to travel more than 2 times within a quarter, you have to take special permission from the president. ESTA codes for that night will not be paid. And, all manner of things we're saying. To discuss more on that, we have with us Mr. Mathias, Tsado, who is the ADP presidential aspirant and also convener, Change Makers Network. He likes to be called the young statesman, so I think it's also interesting to put that there.
Thank you.
You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much, and good morning.
Good morning. You saw today some of the new measures by the federal government to try and tighten the belt. Were you impressed by them? No,
I'm not. I'm not because it's actually not. It's not a place to start. The first place that the government would have to start from is to first of all tell us how much does the president of this country cost a citizen of this country. How much does the minister cost? What's the cost of the minister to the citizens of this country? The senators, the people that we have that are running something like a casino instead of a country. We need to begin to ask them questions about what exactly, what are the contributions that they are bringing to the table? How are they helping the government to run? How are they helping the citizens of this country to feel that there is a government in place? What are the things that...
Why is that the job of the president? I mean, we put the president in place. Well, we opted for a system of democracy. I mean, all over the world we've been told that, just a moment, that the presidential system is quite expensive. Some people have opted for the parliamentary. So is that for the president to be answering, or is that for us as the people to be asking?
It is.
How much is it costing us to, have these public office holders where they are?
I think the question really is that if someone wants to cut the cost or you want to reduce cost, you tell us what exactly it is at the moment that you are, that is the cost. So if you come to say, I want to cut cost, where are you cutting to? What are you cutting from? So if we don't know what it is that you're currently, what you're costing the country, it will be unreasonable for us to start talking about costing. So I think really this nation has been through a whole lot, and
I agree with you. I hate to interrupt you, but we don't have a lot of time. It is true that there are no figures, and I think that is a that's a very important point to make. The fact that we don't know just how much it's currently costing us and just how much we're looking to shave off. And, that's the only time people will be able to appreciate very concretely what is being done. However, we do know that there has been some profligacy before now, people just going on a spending spree, all manner of practices. When you begin to see measures like this, do you think that we are on the right path? At least there is an intention or a sincerity of intention to do the right thing.
For the symbolism, yes, we can say that. But for the effect, for the impact, I don't see anything. I do not see why we're talking about cutting cost, and then I was asking that if you're serious about cutting cost, you're talking about budgeting 100 and something million for refreshment in presidency, hundreds of millions for honorarium. What are these things for? What are these figures for? These people are being paid salaries for doing what they're doing. But we take care of their feeding, we take care of the things they use in the toilet, we take care of almost everything that public officers use in Nigeria. How do you talk about cutting costs when you're not considering you're not putting all of these things on the table? If you want to truly cut costs, it will not take the government or a serious-minded government less than a month to sit down and come up with a budget that is not up to maybe 500 pages. Today, the breakdown of the budget of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is 1,969 pages. How many persons in this country are going to go through that? And all of this line budget, funds are being allocated to all kinds of things that are inexplicable. So if we are serious about cutting costs, I think the president should show that by example. It should show leadership by example. All these wastages in presidency, increasing or putting some money for improvement of the aircraft of the president. It's ridiculous. The president promised us when, I think it was during the 2015 elections, that he was going to reduce the presidential fleet. Has he done that? No. So why are you talking about cutting costs now? These are nothing for me, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
What I just see is like, okay, Nigerians need to hear something about the fact that they are also making sacrifices because they want to increase VAT, they want to increase tax collections. So for that reason, Nigerians should be ready. And we cannot continue to fund these inefficiencies that we see in government. It's absolutely ridiculous. We can't continue to run a country like a casino. We need to have people who are going to be able to add value to citizens of this country. If you want to build a nation, there are processes. We have to run this country like a project.
There's some people that say that, the monies we're looking to really cut is not particularly, public office holders, yes, need to make sacrifices. And of course, I mean, inefficiencies need to be cut out. However, they say the bulk of the money is in the fact that when we make one law, we create another government parastatal to, carry out the law, a government agency to implement that law. And that's how we have been increasing the cost of governance. What do you say to that argument?
Absolutely, I agree with that. But like I said, the first, you see, the point is not, you don't just start by saying, okay, I want to cut costs. We are used to headlines in Nigeria. We just get carried away by headlines and no actions are taken. We heard yesterday that the president is declared that, or ordered, as it's usually used in Nigeria, that ordered the forensic audit of NNDC.
NDDC.
We need to order, or we, the citizens of this country, need to carry out a forensic audit from 1999 to today of all the political office holders in Nigeria and ask all of them to return funds that they've stolen from this country, because this nation has been plundered by people who are supposed to be leaders of the country, who are supposed to take care and plan for the next generation. As we speak, the country is running about with a debt profile of how much? 25 trillion naira? Are you kidding me? Where are the corresponding infrastructures in the country? And we continue to borrow. We're going to borrow how much? 2-point-something trillion naira to fund 2020 inefficiencies. How long do we want to continue to do all of these things in the country? I think, for me, Mark, let me just make this very, very valid point. I think one key thing that is missing in this country is that funds are being dispensed and there's nobody held accountable to give a report of how much money has been used, what is the impact on the ordinary man on the street.
We have to go now, Mr. Tsado. We're totally out of time.
That we hold our leaders accountable in Nigeria.
Thank you so much for your thoughts there. Mathias Tsado is the ADP presidential aspirant, convener, Changemakers Network, and we're talking about cutting the cost of governance. Well, that's Sunrise Daily today, this Friday. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maokbe Ogun Yusuf.
Well, yes, indeed, rain or not. From all of us here, goodbye and thank you for watching.